Question 2, I think, is Ayo.
Is me. Okay, so moving on. What's the most important activities to prioritise during the event itself? Who wants to go first on that one? Is that you, Stacey?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go first. Again, I'm coming at this from sort of, with my background. Emma mentioned about having something to hand out. I think if you want to lure people to your stand, make sure that food is always good for journalists. Get journalists on your stand, handful of sweets, that kind of stuff. Going for the basics, this follows on from my tip about comfy shoes. Drink is always good. Making sure that and this falls into partly prep as well, but making sure you're, having something that makes your stand out from the crowd. I mean, all the stands that I remember were ones that were just a bit different. I mean, just a few very, very quick examples. I think it was at a MIP in Bristol City had a stand, and they had a local artist they had a plain white stand, and they had a local artist who was doing who basically graffitied on their stand during the week, and was drawing stuff relating to Bristol, and it meant people kept coming back to the stand to see how the artwork was progressing. And I know other stands have done that. I've seen stands that have done like little competitions, like I've seen Scale Electric, that kind of stuff. Gets people coming back. You can talk to people while they're there. That putting stands to one side. The other thing I would say is, obviously you've got your hero content. You will have, your content plan as to what you want to do, but don't forget the ad hoc stuff, particularly as we haven't had any trade shows for a couple of years. People are really curious as to what it's like. So think about, if you're going along to a panel, what can you be telling your audience and your followers on LinkedIn and Twitter about what is going on? And I'm not just talking about, this is a really great panel. What were the interesting key things that came out of it? Was there a standout quote? Was there a big ask from the audience? What was going on? What have you seen? The stuff that you can quickly take a picture of and tweet, to show the people back at home what is going on.
Yeah, now they are really important points, actually. And having something interesting. People do talk about it. It sounds very simple, doesn't it? But it's like, have you had a go on the Scale trick? Yeah, you might know nothing about the product or anything like that, but it does help with footfall, that's for sure. So what would I add to that? Following on from the sort of speaking theme, tweaking and not twerking.
Not twerking. I was going to say.
I got there before you.
Emma.
I got there before you. Speaking, not twerking, and connecting. So with regards to any planned speaking opportunity, researching the news on the day, add some flavour to your talk. What's happening? And you can run polls on social media during the day. What are people talking about the show? What's important? What industry topics are coming up? You can weave those into your talk on the day. It makes it stand out and makes it sound a bit different as well. What else would I add? But don't forget to tell people during the show is a really important time when lots of people forget that you need to keep telling people you're there and what you're doing and what's interesting about it, not just the once. Assuming all the work is on feet when you're there is incorrect, and actually there's a lot you need to be doing in terms of raising awareness and profile during that show. Assuming people will turn up to your talk just because it's advertised is not a very good strategy. You will have to keep telling people about that over and over again. There's lots goes on at these shows, isn't there?
Absolutely.
So that would be my thing. So sorry, I'm conscious of time, but go on. Yep.
I was literally just going to say I had a client at Surface a couple of weeks ago, and actually I spent a lot of that show, not actually at the show itself, but on social media. And a lot of my time was actually sitting there creating stuff, creating reels, creating stuff about them being at the show. And what was lovely was that you could see from that third, we've had a competition, and you could actually see that people were retweeting our stuff. Mm-hmm. We were engaged with the exhibitors. We had people saying, I'm going to go and visit their stand and all that kind of stuff, and sharing tweets about it. And I kind of think that's what you want. You want that online momentum as well.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to keep it's momentum. That's the key word. Yeah. It's momentum. The show bit is all about momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.